Hey, what's up, guys? Chaz Wolf coming to you with 2 ways today on how to have control and keep control in a sales call. Number 1, on how to have control, you got to ask questions. Okay, before you can even ask questions, you got to know where you're going. You got to have a structure, a map, a process that you follow that you know for sure without a doubt that you're going, okay? Now, the prospect may or may not know, and that's okay. They're going to follow you through the sales process. So number 1, you gotta know your sales process without a doubt, like the back of your hand. You could wake up in the middle of the night, boom, boom, boom. This is the process that I take every single time. Now, I'm not talking about being scripted. I'm talking about having a structure or a process that you know like the back of your hand, okay? Number 2, in that same bullet point of how to have control is to ask questions, like I already mentioned. You ask good questions because you're genuinely concerned about the other person. You want to understand their pain or their situation. And that's the only way that you're actually able to help them, right? So after the discovery asking questions, we're going to get into our pitch, our presentation, and you can't do that. You can't actually help them if you don't understand their situation. So your questions derive from a genuine, natural curiosity about their situation because you want to be able to help them. So by asking questions, you're leading them to the path of here's the problem, here's the solution. But if you're asking questions, or if you're not asking questions, let's just say it like that, then they're the ones leading the conversation with, well, tell me about your product, or tell me about that, or tell me about this. And some of those are okay. Some might even say those are buying indicators, and they might be. But you as the salesperson need to be able to lead them through the process by asking questions. The moment that you stop asking questions is the second that you no longer have control, okay? You have handed it over to the prospect. And the second piece that we're gonna talk about today, as far as maintaining the control, you may have someone that tries to knock you off course, whether intentional or not intentional. The unintentional person that's gonna try to knock you off or take you off is just maybe a super talkative person. Maybe they're just really interested in other things, which is totally fine. Again, out of your genuine care and your curiosity, you're gonna go down that road with them. You're gonna let them talk about whatever it is that's important to them, because that's how we make real relationships. It makes people feel good, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you spend the entire call or even several minutes on this off-the-wall topic that's important to them. You just have to understand how to be able to bring it back, right? And so an easy way to be able to bring it back on topic is making sure that you're verbally following along with them. Yeah, cool, sure, cool, right? So I'm not saying that the same way every single time. I'm just giving you some examples. As you're verbally following along with them, not just quiet, you make this natural progression of being able to jump in and cut them off, but you be able to jump in and be able to continue to control the environment because they said something that was interesting, and you say, hey, tell me more about that. And you kind of bring them back on track, okay? The second person is maybe a little bit more forceful, maybe a little bit more aggressive. Could be a fellow salesperson that's just trying to get you to get to your pitch, right? Hey, just tell me what you got, bud. I ain't got no time for this, tat, 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 right? That person, you have to immediately posture and show authority. Not because you need to beat your chest because he's beat his chest. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is posturing yourself with authority by explaining what it is that you're trying to do and then holding to the process that you know. Might sound something like this. Someone says to me, hey Chaz, can you just get to it? Just tell me what you're selling. First off, I can't sell anything until I understand if my product fits a need. Right? I know that's kind of cliche in the sales world, but I actually care, okay? And so it would be a disservice of me to try to pitch you or sell you something without knowing what your need is. So if you want to take a couple of minutes here and figure out what it is that you got going on in your business, I'm happy to discuss how we might be able to help. Otherwise, I was initiating the conversation because I wanted to connect with you. I felt like there was some synergy in your industry or mine, whatever the purpose in connecting, right? So I'm kind of in and out of the role play here. But you want to be able to posture yourself of, hey, look, I completely understand. I'm going to come into an agreement with that person. I understand that you have jumped the gun here and you're wanting me to skip some steps just to hurry up and get to my pitch. However, that's not really how it works, right? Because if you just give your pitch without any value, they're going to say, okay, let me think about it and I'll get back to you, right? Click. I would much rather take that opportunity just to be upfront and honest with that person and say, hey, look, you've probably been burned. You've probably get pitches all the time. I'm not calling to make a pitch. What I'm calling to do is actually figure out if I can help you at all. And if I can, fantastic. If I can't, just as fantastic, and I'll boogie on down the road. So hang up on me now, or we can continue conversation around specific things that you may or may not need that I may or may not be able to do. What do you want to do, John? Right? So it's posturing, it's authority, it's the feeling of, I want to be able to help you, but at the same time, there's so many other prospects out there. I got an abundance mindset, and I'm not getting locked up in this one conversation. So I hope these two things help you how to have control and maintain control in your sales calls. Best of luck out there in becoming bulletproof. Talk to you soon.